how to do the installation, and what about this BIOS. Now let us go and create a virtual machine and let us see how to install a Windows Server operating system in our virtual machine. So installation process will be same whether it is virtual machine or physical machine, but initial couple of steps will be different. So this is our VMware workstation. It should be there in your machine first. It should be installed in your machine. Okay, so once you open VMware workstation, here we can see create a new virtual machine option, or we can go to file option here, and again we can say new virtual machine. So first create a virtual machine and do the installation. So let us see that scenario also. Okay, this one. So there is a hardware. We know we should have minimum 8 GB RAM in our hardware, and on top of the hardware we have some operating system already running in our machine like Windows 8, 7 or 10, whichever. And on top of this operating system we should install the VMware workstation. Installing VMware workstation is not a big deal. Just open the VMware workstation. There will be a setup file there. Double click on that setup file and follow the instructions. If you know how to install any application, you can easily install VMware workstation application there. Okay. After installing VMware workstation application, then we have to create a virtual machine and install operating system. There are two steps there. One step is create a virtual machine. Second step is install OS in VM. VM means virtual machine. Okay, so create a virtual machine and install OS in virtual machine. So one virtual machine we need to create for server with this configuration like 2 GB RAM and 60 GB hard disk, and client machine with 1 GB RAM and like 50 GB hard disk. Okay, so let us do this. First create a virtual machine. So again, to create a virtual machine we need to open this VMware workstation, then say create a new virtual machine. We have two options here. One is a typical option and one is a custom option. See, whenever you install any application, you always have these two options, right? One is a typical option and one is a custom option. So when you go with typical option, typical means what it will do, it will choose the options automatically. Like while creating a virtual machine we need certain options, so all those options will be selected automatically. But if you go with this custom option, it will ask you to select the options. Okay, typical means it will select the options automatically. Custom means it will ask you to select the options. So let us go with typical, because you know it is more than enough for us to go with typical. So I'll select typical. I'll say next. Now in the second step it is asking you install from. Okay, you're installing operating system from. Always select the option I will install the operating system later. The last option you can see here, I will install the operating system later, because right now what we are doing here, we are simply creating the virtual machine. Remember, we have divided our configuration into two steps. One is creating a virtual machine, then installation of OS. It will be very easy for us if you do in these two steps. Okay, so select the option I will install the operating system later, then click on next. Now here we need to select our operating system, whether it is Solaris or Linux or Microsoft Windows or whatever. So I'll select Microsoft Windows here. Then I will select Windows Server 2016. So whichever operating system you're planning to install, that operating system must be selected here. If you're installing Windows Server 2016 and if you select Windows 7 here, this Windows Server 2016 will not work properly. Okay, if you are installing 16, we need to select 16 here. Okay, so I selected Windows Server 2016. 16 here. Done. In case if someone is learning Linux administration, he can go with Linux and he can select whatever Linux administration he is learning, whether it is Red Hat or SUSE or Ubuntu or Fedora or Debian or whatever we have, CentOS and all those things. Okay. As of now, let us go with Microsoft Windows and select Windows Server 2016. Next. So once you select Windows Server 2016, it will show you something. It will ask you to enter the name. So see what I have done here. I have entered the name as server 1 7 class. This name will appear here actually. So in my computer, there are many machines here actually for different batches. So for that reason, I have entered the name as server 1 7 batch. In your computer, maybe there are no machines, so you can simply say server 1. That is more than enough. Now, what is its location? I will explain you a bit later. But as of now, just see this virtual machine name, enter the virtual machine name, and then say next. See how much GB hard disk it has selected by default. It has selected 60 GB. See, whichever operating system you select, according to your OS, it will select your hardware. Suppose if you select Linux operating system, there for Linux it will select only 20 GB. But this is Windows Server 2016, so it has selected 60 GB here. But I'll do one thing. This is a classroom computer, so I will go with 100 GB hard disk. So this is a server. I'll go with 100 GB hard disk here. Okay. Now say next. I can easily say finish here. But before I say finish, let us see how much GB memory it took here. See here we can see it took 2 GB memory. But did we select 2 GB memory there? We have not selected 2 GB memory. But why it has taken 2 GB memory? Because I have selected Windows Server 2016. So it will select 2 GB memory. If you select Windows XP, for example, it will select maybe 500 MB. If you select Windows 7, it will select only 1 GB. So according to your operating system, it will select some memory and processor, everything it will select. Okay. So what we will do here is 2 GB memory is sufficient, but still I will go to this customize hardware. In customize hardware, I will select totally 8 GB. See, I can select 8 GB memory in my computer because total memory in my computer is 32 GB. So if I select 8 GB, the performance of my virtual machine will be much better. 2 GB we can easily run a Windows Server operating system, but this is a classroom machine, so I'll go with like 8 GB. Why I can go with 8 GB? Because in my hardware I have sufficient. But suppose imagine in my physical machine totally I have only 8 GB RAM. Can I go with 8 GB for this virtual machine? Not possible, right? Because total if it is 8 GB, out of 8 GB the physical machine will use something, then Windows Server will use something, then Windows client will use something. So then I cannot go with like full 8 GB. But in this scenario, I have totally 32 GB RAM, so I can easily go with this 8 GB RAM. Okay, so I have selected 8 GB here. And the second thing here is a processor. Right now it is showing only one processor. Okay, but what I will do here is I will select 2 here and I will select 2. That means I have selected totally 4 processor core. How much I have selected? I have selected 4 processor core. When you do practicals on your computer, you can simply say 1 and 2. That means how many processors? 2 processors is more than enough. But again, this is a classroom computer, so I'll go with 4 processors because the performance will be much better. So I have selected 8 GB RAM here. I have selected 4 processors, and remaining options are like, default options. No need to make any changes. The other options are like CD/DVD and network adapter. Network adapter is your NIC card. Okay. So I have selected 8 GB RAM, 4 processors. Click on close and now click on finish. So once I click on finish, see my virtual machine is created here now. Server 1 class 7 virtual machine is created with 8 GB RAM, 4 processors, 100 GB hard disk and 1 NIC card and 1 CD-ROM. So whatever you need for a machine, everything is created here. So a virtual machine is ready now. I'll do one thing. I'll just right click on this virtual machine. I'll go to manage I'll set delete from disk. See, I have deleted permanently so that I can create one more virtual machine there. I'll just recreate a virtual machine. But before I create a virtual machine, let us go to task manager here. Remember, in task manager, we can see how much it is using, how much memory, how much CPU it is using. So right now it is using 3.5 GB, approximately 3.5 GB of memory. Here we can see clearly. Okay. Now let us go back and create a virtual machine again. Okay, so the VMware workstation will be something like this. You can see this logo here. Double click on this. Create a new virtual machine. Select the option typical and then select the option I will install the OS later. Next. Select your OS, whichever OS you are installing here. We are installing 2016 in this machine, so I select 2016. Then click on next. Enter the name of the machine. Server 1 7 class. It's up to you actually, whatever name you enter. But now this is a very big option here, location. See what location it has selected here. There is something called E drive. See, when you do the installation, by default the location here will be like C drive, because see, when we install VMware workstation will be installed in the C drive. You know, the default all the applications will be installed by default in C drive. If you have to change the path, you can change the path, but normally we just install applications in C drive. Okay, but why the location is E drive here? The reason is this virtual machine server 1 7 class, you can see here server 1 7 class. This virtual machine I am creating in E drive. Why so? Let us go to my computer and check once. This is my computer, guys. See how much GB free space is available in my C drive. It is only 20 GB free. In my C drive, there is only 20 GB free space available. Can I select the C drive? No, I should not, because there is not sufficient space there. But in this E drive, see how much space is available. 132 GB space is available. So I can select this E drive. Okay, I'll do one more thing here. There is only 132 GB free space available. I'll cancel. Actually, I have already completed some of my classes, some of my MCC classes. So I'll do one thing. I'll delete some classes, some virtual machines here. So right click on this, go to manage and delete the disk permanently. I've completed this class also. Mm, what else? Online 8 o'clock class also have completed actually. Okay, let us see. I have deleted like 4 or 5 machines now. Now see how much GB it is showing now, 218 GB. That is, it has approximately added 90 GB space there, right? So once you do your work, once your practicals are over, after completing all the practicals, we should delete. So like this, till now, maybe I have deleted some thousands of machines maybe in this machine, because for every class, I have to create 4 to 5 virtual machines. For Windows and Linux and VMware, I have deleted many virtual machines. So I have created machines, and once the class is over, I will delete the machine. That's it. So that my space will be again free. So what is the concept here? In my computer, there are 3 partitions, C, D, and E. So in my E partition, there is more than 200 GB free space available. So what I will do here is, I will select my E partition for creating my virtual machine. Okay. So in this E partition, I have created a folder within a virtual machines. And right now, this many virtual machines are running for different classes. If I go to properties here, see it has occupied 300 GB space. All those virtual machines have occupied 300 GB space. Okay, so now let us go back and create a machine again. Create a new machine. Next, next. Select your OS. Next. Server 1. class 7. Now see, it has already selected location as E. So in case in your computer, if the location is C, and if the location C has very less space, better go and say browse and select some other location here like D, R, E, R, F, or whatever partition. Okay, select that partition or select that location and then click on next. Select your hard disk 100 GB, then click on next. Then again customize hardware. Instead of 2 GB, I'll select 8 GB here. Instead of one processor, I'll select totally 4 processors. The remaining things should be kept default. No need to make any changes here. So click on close and just click on finish. Done. My first step is over. Creation of virtual machine is done. Okay. Now the second thing is we need to install operating system in this virtual machine. So how to install operating system in this virtual machine? Remember the ISO image that we have discussed before? Yeah. We have this ISO image, right? We need to download ISO image. I already showed you how to download the image. Just go to Microsoft website and download the image. So the image is already downloaded in my computer. So I will go to the CD DVD option. In CD DVD option, I will use the option as use the ISO image. Then click on browse. So select your image. So my image is available here. So I selected my image here, Windows Server 2016, and then just say open. And then there is an option here, connect at power on here. So click on this connected power on and say open. So the image should be connected. Now connecting an image is something like connecting your pen drive physically to the physical machine or inserting your DVD in a physical machine. So this is the only difference between a physical machine and a virtual machine. In a virtual machine, what we have to do, we have to click on CD DVD and we have to connect the image, ISO image. But on a physical machine, what we have to do, this ISO image should be copied in a pen drive and that pen drive should be connected to the physical machine. Every server has a USB port. Like on our computers, we have USB ports. On server also we have USB port. And on some servers, we have like DVD also. Like in our laptops, we have DVD-ROM. In our servers also, we have DVD-ROM. Okay, so on a physical machine, we need to connect the physical port, physical USB. But in a virtual machine, we need to connect in this way. That's it. So once I power on this virtual machine, whatever I do from here, it will be same on a virtual machine as well as it will be same on a physical machine. The installation process will be same, the configuration, the administration, everything will be same. This is the only one single difference we need to understand. Okay, so now I'll just power on this machine, power on this virtual machine. I'll maximize my screen here. I'll just go to full screen so that I can enter directly into my machine. Click inside and then just press enter because it was asking you to press any key. So I just press any key. So the installation process has started. See, where is installation going on here? The installation is going on in the virtual machine. If I minimize my VMware workstation, see, I'm back to my physical machine. I can go to browser. I can do some browsing and everything. And if I again open this VMware workstation here, again I'm back to this virtual machine now. Okay. So this installation is happening inside my virtual machine. Okay, so I'll just maximize again. So what it is saying, Windows Server 2016 installation, just say next. Install now. Yeah. Okay, so now there is an option here we need to select. Actually, there are two versions in Windows Server 2016, two editions. One is called Windows Server 2016 Standard Edition. Another one is Data Center Edition. I'll just write here, guys. It will be easy for you to understand. Two 2016 Standard Server 2016 Data Center. Both are completely same. like in installation, configuration, and administration, both are completely same. The difference will be in like virtualization. I'm not sure how much you can understand when I explain what is virtualization here, but I'll just try to explain you. If you go with standard version, standard Windows Server 2016, you can take this DVD and you can install this DVD in two virtual machines. Okay, take this Windows Server 2016 standard edition and we can install this in how many virtual machines? Two virtual machines. And if you go with like data center, you can install in this unlimited virtual machine. There is a difference. Standard can be installed in how many machines? Two machines. And data center will be installed in unlimited virtual machines. So according to the version, there will be the costing will be done. Standard will be in like around $800,000, $1,500. Data center will be like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Okay, so these are the two versions. Now again in these two versions, there are two more options here. One option is, it is called as desktop experience, and it is a normal version. See here, one is a desktop experience here. Another one is a normal version. So normal version means it is like your Linux. It will be installed in CLI. Desktop means it is like your Windows version that is installed in GUI. Remember yesterday we have seen some differences between Windows and Linux, and we said Windows and Linux, there is a very tough competition in market. Linux is more famous because it is in CLI. Normally CLI is more secure than GUI actually. So what Windows people have done, they have developed a operating system, Windows Server 2016 operating system, that can be installed and configured in complete CLI. Okay, so they have introduced a operating system which is like Linux, not like Linux, but which is like CLI, which is in completely CLI. But still 90 to 95% cases, companies will use Windows as GUI because administrators are more comfortable in GUI compared to CLI. But if they go with Linux administration, they have to go with CLI. That's a different game, and this is a different game. Okay, so here, if you select data center desktop experience, that means you are installing GUI. But if you select desktop evolution, only normal evolution, data center evolution, that means it is CLI. Come again. If you select standard evolution, that is called CLI. If you select standard evolution desktop experience, that is GUI. Here also same, if you select data center evolution, that is CLI. If you select data center evolution desktop experience, that means it is GUI. So always select the GUI and better select the data center evolution. Okay, so I selected desktop experience data center, then I'll say next. Okay, I'll just wait here for 30 seconds. I hope you understood this option. So in case if there is any doubt from this option or any other option that we have seen before, we will see. Okay, there is a question here like what is the use of course? Okay, I'll come there. Okay, core means, when you take a processor, whether it is i3, i5, i7 or whatever processor, every processor has number of cores. Like a processor will be like dual core. Dual means two cores. A processor is quad core. Quad means totally four cores. Octa core. Octa means totally eight cores, and hexa core. Hexa means totally 16 cores. Now, I hope you have seen the processor before, how it looks. Let me show you the CPU. This is your actual processor. Can you see here? i3 is written here. Okay, and i9 is written here. Okay, so this is a processor. i7 is written here. So this is a processor which you have in your computer. It will be like this much size, maybe like 2 inch, 2 square inch. Okay, this is the most important part of your computer. Okay, so when you take i7 processor, your processor can be better than my processor. Your machine performance can be better than my machine performance. But you have taken i5, I have taken i5, or you have taken i7, I have taken i7. So what is the difference here? Why your processor is better than my processor? The reason is, one processor is a physical processor, but a physical processor can be dual core, quad core, octa core, or hexa core. Core means a logical processor. So when your processor is a dual core processor, that means one physical processor has how many logical processors? Two processors. When you go with octa core, one physical processor has totally four processors. Sorry, quad core. Octa core means one physical processor has how many processors there? 8 processors running inside. So imagine your processor is a octa-core processor and my processor is a dual-core processor. So obviously your performance is better than my performance because you are having totally 8 cores there. But how many cores I am having here? I am having only 2 cores there. That is a core. So before, like 12 years before, the processor was only one processor and it was having only one core. But now for last 12-13 years, the things have changed. The processors can be dual core, quad core, octa core, hexa core, and all those things. So dual means one processor with 2 processors inside. Quad means one processor with 4 processors. Octa means one processor with 8 processors. If you go and purchase a mobile phone also, it will be written there as it is a quad core processor or octa core processor. It is octa. Okay, so it is written there like it is a quad core or octa core. Nowadays you should not take a processor with its dual core. Dual core is there for last 10-12 years and we are using applications and softwares which are much more heavier than what you used to get like 12 years before. So nowadays you should take minimum quad core or octa core. If you take dual core, the price will be less. If you take quad core, the price will be a bit more, and if you take octa core processor, the price will be a bit high actually. And this hexa-core processors, we will have these hexa-core processors only in servers actually, not in normal computers. Okay, so these are the codes. Okay, fine. So I have selected this option, Windows Server 2016 Data Center Evolution, Desktop Experience. I'll say next. So this is your setup. We need to accept the license. Without accepting the license, we know we cannot install any application. So click on next here now. Now we have two options. One is upgrade, another one is custom. So when to choose upgrade and when to choose custom. Now we are installing Windows Server 2016 here. Just imagine a scenario, Windows Server 2012 is already running in your machine. So without losing any configuration, you want to update from Windows Server 2012 to Windows Server 2016. So then we need to select the option upgrade. But right now we know this is a new machine. There is no operating system available there. So I have to go with custom. So new installation will be custom. The old installation will be upgrade. Okay, so how much hard disk we can see here? Remember we have selected 100 GB hard disk. So I'll just make two partitions here. One partition is of like 50 GB. 50,000 MB is 50 GB now. Say apply. 50,000 means approximately 50 GB. Apply. So once you say apply, what it says, to ensure that all the Windows features work correctly, Windows might create additional partitions. So I'll just say okay here. See, we have created only one partition, but three more partitions will be created. Our partition is this primary partition, but the partitions that are created here are recovery, system, and MSR. These three partitions are automatically created, so we should not delete these partitions. We should not make any changes. Actually, we can see this partition here only. We cannot see the partition once we do the installation. It will be hidden. Okay. So select your partition primary and click on next. Now that's it. The installation process has begun. Now the installation process is happening. The installation, see, it is saying clearly getting files ready for installation, 0% completed, so it will go up to like 100%. So it will take around 10 to 12 minutes. So I'll just go back to the scenario. Remember, we have seen this scenario here. This one, we are installing our image, ISO image, into our hard disk now. This process is on. So once we do the installation in hard disk, the operating system will go from hard disk to RAM. Okay, so 10% is completed. Now let us go and check here. See how much GB RAM it is using now. It is using 6 point, or now it is using like 7 GB. Before it was using only like 3.5 GB, but now a virtual machine is created inside your physical machine, and that virtual machine started using some of the resources. The virtual machine is on. I have many more virtual machine here, guys, but all these virtual machines are off. Remember I told you, if the virtual machine is off, it will not use any resources. If the virtual machine is on, then only it will use the resources. So see, it has already used 8 GB of your resources. It will use how much? Total it will use 8 GB. So 3 GB was already used. So it will go up to like 12 GB here. 3.5 GB was already used, right? So 3.5 plus 8 GB, like 11.5 GB will be used. So see, it is simply increasing your RAM utilization. Okay, once I do the work, once I finish the installation, and once I shut down my virtual machine here, then what happens here? This memory utilization again will go down. So if the virtual machine is in use, then only the memory and processor utilization will be there. If the virtual machine is not in use, then the memory and CPU utilization will not be there. So it should take around 8 to 10 minutes here to do the installation. Okay, guys, so we have like some more time here. It's only 43%. So I'll just give some basic introduction about VMware and cloud computing. Within like one sentence, I can explain you what is VMware and what is cloud computing here. Okay, so let us close this. Save. Okay, there are three ways of making a server setup in our company. One way is, remember we said we need many servers in a company, 3-4 servers, 5-10 servers are not sufficient. So maybe in a company you need this many servers with different hardware configurations and different operating systems and all those things. So all these servers will be connected. So just imagine these are totally 100 servers. Okay, In a company, you have totally 100 servers. Again, by the way, 100 servers means it is not a big company. It is just like up to like medium level company. And big companies, it can be like some 10,000 server. It can be like 700, 800 servers also. Okay, so this is one setup. So what we have to do in this setup, every server has some particular hardware. So in every server, we need to do the installation of Windows Server or Linux server. And on top of this Windows Server or Linux server, we need to install the services like DNS service, DHCP service, email, web, file, backup service, all these services we need to install. Yeah, this is one scenario. But see, for 100 servers, how much money we need to spend? Let us calculate here. Suppose each server will cost you like suppose on average $4,000 because a physical server we need to purchase and the server operating system we need to purchase. So $4,000 multiplied by 100. So this is $400,000, that is $4 lakh. I'm calculating in dollars here. So if I multiply by in Indian rupees, it is around 74, right? Approximately 3 crore rupees. That is some money, right? This is only for servers. So a company have to spend nearly or more than 3 crore rupees just for your servers. Then company have to take routers, switches, and all the other devices. So the network infrastructure will be too much. Okay, so this is a normal scenario. Now, the second scenario here is virtualization scenario. So what we do in this virtualization scenario here is, instead of taking 100 physical servers, guys, we will just take like suppose 3 physical servers. Instead of spending money on 100 physical servers, how many physical servers we took here? Only 3. Now in these 3 physical servers, what we do? We create, this is your virtual machine. So all the 100 virtual machines will be created here. So suppose imagine in every physical machine you created 33, 34 virtual machines, and they will be connected here. So physical servers are 3, but how many virtual machines? How many services we are running? Say DNS we were running here, for example, or suppose like a web server we will running here. It was running on this physical machine, but now web server is running in which machine? Web server is running suppose here in this virtual machine. That's the only difference. Web server is running in our company. Here also web server is running. But in the first scenario, web server is running on a physical machine. In the second scenario, web server is running on a virtual machine. But where is that virtual machine running? The virtual machine is running in physical machine only, right? But in this one single physical machine, how many virtual machines we have created here? Like suppose approximately 33 virtual machines we have created. All these are 33 virtual machines. So how much money we have saved here? We spend money only on one physical server and we have created 33 virtual machine. Like this, on one physical machine, we can create up to 1000 virtual machines. So instead of purchasing 1000 servers, guys, you can purchase one server with good configuration and you can create how many virtual machines there? Up to 1000 virtual machines. But again, no company will take only one server, because if that server is down, there is no backup there. So for that reason, for 100 machines, how many servers we have taken? For 100 machines, we have taken 1, 2, and 3 servers. So what is the advantage here now? Instead of spending like $4 lakh, maybe you have spent only like 3% here of that money. 3% will be like approximately $18,000. Instead of spending $400,000, we have spent only $1,800. So see how much money we have saved here. So this concept is called virtualization concept. Got it? One is a physical setup, one is a virtual setup. But let me make something clear here. What we do on a physical setup, the same work we do on a virtual setup. Our work is same. Our work will not change. So virtual machine, we do the same work, and physical machine also we do the same work. What work we do? We install the Windows Server OS and we do the configuration. That's it. Okay. Now, the third option that we use normally is, and that is in more in demand nowadays, is it is called cloud computing. This is the third option, cloud computing. So what exactly is this cloud computing here? Cloud computing means in our company, actually there are no servers. There are no 100 servers and there are no 3 servers also. In our company, there are 0 servers. So what we have to do in our company, we should have an internet connection. That's it. But can we see any company without internet connection? Of course, no. Every company has internet connection, right? Okay, so once we have internet connection, you know what we can do? By using this internet connection, we can connect to some other company like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Cisco, Oracle, IBM, HP, okay, Citrix. There are many companies. So what these companies are doing here is these companies are saying why you are using servers in your company, why you are using 100 servers here, or why you are using even 3 servers. No need to purchase these 3 servers also. What you can do, we have a huge data center. Amazon company will tell you, like, we have a huge data center. You can use our data center and you can create your servers there. Google and Microsoft company are saying, like, we have huge data center. So instead of purchasing these 3 physical servers also, no need to purchase these 3 physical servers also. Just come to our company. We have a huge data center and use this data center and create your virtual machines and use your services there. You want to see the data center? These are the data centers actually. These are the servers they have. It will be difficult for you to identify who is the person standing at the next corner. These are the data centers. And from outside, it will be like this. These are those data centers. Inside, we have all the servers and everything. So what these companies are saying is, these companies are saying, like, okay, why you are spending money on your physical servers? No need to spend any money there. We have the data center here, huge data centers with like huge capacity. So you can simply connect to our data center by using your internet connection, and you can make an account here. Like we can see the account is here, Amazon Management Console. So I need to sign in here. So I'll just show you how to sign in. The company have to create an account. So this is my account here. अरे यार, MBTYX2. Okay, so password is 123. That's it. So what company will do? They will create an account here like Amazon.com, and there is something called EC2 here. So they'll just go to EC2 and they will create a virtual machine here. That's it. See, we can see Amazon Linux here. We can see Red Hat. So see, we can select your operating system like Windows Server 2019, Windows Server 2016 will be here. See, Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2012. So select your machine here and just use your machine. That's it. So this concept is called cloud computing. So we don't have any hardware infrastructure in our company, especially the servers. Our servers will be hosted on some other company's setup, some other company's network, and that concept is called cloud computing. So we are here, we are not even spending $18,000. See, $18,000, no, 1800, yeah, $18,000 actually. So $18,000 is the money that we need to spend as a initial money. But when you go to cloud computing with $0, you can start your business with $0. When we create a virtual machine, when you start using virtual machine, then the money will charge. They will charge your money. So till that time, there is no money there. So with zero money in your pocket, you can start your business. So these are the three ways of making a setup. One is a physical way, another one is a virtual way, another one is a cloud way. So right now, companies are using the physical way, virtual way, as well as cloud way. But our work as an administrator, server administrator, is same whether it is physical machine or a virtual machine or a machine that is there in cloud. We need to host a website here, as well as website in the cloud computing. Our work will not change. This is the second stage of your career. In second stage, you can go with VMware or cloud computing. Got it? So anyhow, we have successfully installed the operating system here. See, the machine is rebooting now, and let us go and check how much it has used. See, it has used 12 GB RAM now. It has used complete RAM, whatever we assigned it. But no need to worry, guys. In case if you assign 2 GB RAM in your machine, it will use only 2 GB there. It will not use 8 GB. I assign 8 GB here. There's the reason it is using 8 GB. If someone is assigning 4 GB RAM, it will use only 4 GB. That's it. So I hope you understood the three differences here: physical machine, virtualization, and cloud computing. So I'll just wait here for like 30 seconds in case if there is any doubt here, we can see, or else we can move into the physical setup. So this is the way our companies are running all over the globe. And whatever new companies are coming, these new companies are moving slowly into cloud computing and VMware and cloud computing because they can save a lot of money. And coming to the physical setup, if the companies already have a physical setup, they will go with that physical setup itself. Okay. But in that physical setup, again, if they want to add some more services, they will not take some more physical services. They already have the 100 services here, right? So they are not taking some more physical services, physical servers. So whatever new servers they need, they will go to cloud computing. So these 100 servers are running on the physical machine and some new servers are running on cloud computing. So like this, slowly and steadily, all these servers they are moving into the cloud computing because it is cheap. Cost is very, very less actually. And there are many other advantages of cloud computing compared to the physical setup. So once you do your MCAC, CCNA, and Linux, if you want to choose a career path, it is better you can think of cloud computing because there is a huge scope in cloud computing as of now. For next 5, 10, 15 years, always cloud computing will be in more demand. Okay, done. See what I have done here? Installation is done and you can see the username here, administrator, that is the default user. I'll be entering one password here and my password is abc@123. So when you do the installation, you also use same password abc@123. That is better. Okay, then just say finish. My Windows Server 2016 installation is successfully done. Okay, so now it is asking you to press Control Alt and Delete. Just remember one thing, you should not press Control Alt and Delete. And by the way, the time is incorrect here. It is not 7:30. It is already 8 o'clock. So I need to change the time there. Okay, so remember one thing, we should not press Control Alt and Delete here. Go to this taskbar and can you see this? Three boxes, just click on these three boxes. So it will work as Control Alt and Delete. So username is administrator. Enter the password here, abc@123. Now we'll log in into my Windows server as a administrator. That's it. This is your screen. It looks like your Windows 8 and Windows 10. So if you know how to use Windows 8 and Windows 10 operating system, you can easily use this Windows Server operating system. Operating wise, it is same. See, we have a recycle bin here. We have date and time. So let us change our date and time once. There is a date time. Adjust date and time here. So I need to select my region. In whichever country you are there, you should select that settings. So we are in India, so Kolkata, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, New Delhi. See, once I select my region, the time has already changed to 8:02 a.m. Okay, select this, and if you want to make any changes, you can make any changes. It's up to you. So save. And if you go to your computer, guys, you will see the same options here. See this feature, this computer, desktop, downloads, picture, music, document. There is a C drive here. Okay, so whatever we have done, everything is same here. Whatever we see in Windows 10, everything is same here. So our Windows Server OS is successfully installed. See, normally what we do once we do the installation in a computer, there is something called drivers. I hope you know there is something called drivers actually. I'll just write here. We install the drivers in our computer, right? Computer or server. But in virtual machine, there is something called VM tools. In physical machine, we need to install drivers. In virtual machine, we need to install VM tools. What is the advantage of installing drivers? The advantage of installing drivers is all the other things will work perfectly, like sound port, USB port, VGA port, graphics, everything will work perfectly if drivers are available. In the same way, we need to install VM tools here. So how to install VM tools in a virtual machine? Let us see. Just right click on this virtual machine here, the name. Then we can see the option here, install VM tools. Click on this, install VM tools. So it is saying something, so just say install here. So when you say install here, guys, if you go to this CD DVD, here we can see the VM tools will be connected. So just double click on this VM tools and the installation process will begin. I repeat again, what is the advantage of installing VM tools? If you install VM tools, your virtual machine performance will be better. Unnecessary, you will not get any issues there. It is like drivers of your virtual machine. Next, select typical again. This is just VM tools, so just say next again and say install again. Finish. Now it is asking you to reboot. I will not reboot. I'll say no here. Then I'll do one thing, guys. See how much it is using again. It is using 12 GB RAM here, right? Now, before you shut down your physical machine, you should first shut down your virtual machine. Like suppose you have done practicals, everything is over. What we do normally, we shut down the physical machine, right? If you shut down the physical machine, there is a chance that your virtual machine get corrupt. So always first shut down the virtual machine. How to shut down the virtual machine? It is a machine, it is an operating system. So just go to start and there is an option here called shutdown. That's it. Like this, you can shut down your virtual machine. See, the virtual machine is going down here. And right now it is using 12 GB because the virtual machine is still on. It is going down now. It is shutting down now. Done. Once the virtual machine is off, how much RAM it is using now? It is using 4 GB RAM now. If I close this VMware Workstations application, it will use a bit less. Say it came down. If I close this soft file here, it will use again less. If I close this again, mm, MCS E7AM, it will go down. So whatever applications I'm closing here, okay, first of all, I need to log off from my account. So the RAM utilization came down to like 3.8 GB. Okay guys, so like this we can do the installation of, like this we can create the virtual machine and do the installation. I repeat again, the installation process, once we start the installation process, whatever we do, it will be same here on this virtual machine, or maybe on a physical machine, or maybe somewhere on a cloud. So whatever we do from today, it will be same anywhere, whether a physical setup, a virtual setup, or a setup that is there over the cloud. In all these three setups, it will be completely same. Okay, so this was the installation. So what you should do, today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. It is better for you if you do the installation once, because if there is an installation in your machine, then only you can do all the practicals. Without installation, no practicals. We still have like 2-3 theoretical classes. Once you finish the theoretical classes, then we can see practicals. But again, to do MCSE practicals, this virtual machine should be created in your machine, in your physical machine. So normally people are not using two machines, so better go with this VMware software here and create the machine there. In case if you're not able to download VMware software, I have already shared the workstation software with the management. You can simply make a call to them, or I'll just call them. I'll ask them to share the documents with you. There is VMware Workstation 14. Actually, like I said, there are some more new versions also, like 15, 16, 17 is also available. But if you go with like 16 and 17, it is a trial version only for 1 month. After 1 month, they will ask you to pay money. But coming to this VMware 14 version, I have a crack here. This is my key. So I can use this key and it will not ask you to register. It will not ask you to pay money. So it is better as of now you go with VMware Workstation 14 so that you can use this workstation for much more longer time. And in case if you want to purchase, you can purchase. It's up to you. And one more thing, I hope you know this, in Hyderabad, if you're from Hyderabad, Amazon people, they already launched a data center in Hyderabad. So they still the construction is on. So within like next year or maybe like within couple of years, the data center in Hyderabad will be up. They are spending around 20,000 crores, more than 20,000 crores for the data center in Hyderabad. Before there was only one data center in India. It was in Mumbai. But right now there is huge demand in South. We have Chennai, Bangalore, Mysore, Pune, Hyderabad. These are the major cities, right? Especially for IT. Like Kerala also we have Trivandrum, and we have all this Kochi, all these cities. So in Hyderabad they already launched this, like last year they launched this at January, I guess this January. Okay, so the construction is already on. So it will cost them around more than 20,000 crores. 20,000 crores is some money, guys. Okay, so in future, if you want to think of a better career, you can think of cloud computing. But again, cloud computing will begin for the MCSE and CCNA. Okay, guys, so that was the class for today. So we have successfully done the installation here. I'll just create a folder here. MCSE 7 AM class. Okay, I'll keep this machine there. Done. So from tomorrow or from the next class, I'll just go to this machine. I will switch on the machine. I'll use this machine. Machine is already created, so it is already saved in my physical machine. No issues. Oracle VirtualBox is also same, Siraj. It is also same. Like this is Oracle VirtualBox. VMware Workstation is more easier to use. Here also we have to do same thing. It is asking me to update actually new version. I'm just say okay. And can you see here new here? New virtual machine. So name of the virtual machine, like suppose I'll say Siraj. Which OS you are selecting here? Windows, again same options are here. In Windows, which OS you are selecting? Okay, here there is no Windows Server 2016, I guess. Yeah, oh, it is set 2016. Then click on next. Okay, select your memory here. It is selecting 4 GB, but I need to select in MBs. So can I go with, okay, I'll go with like 4096. That means I have selected 4 GB RAM here. Then send next. And it is asking about your virtual disk. So just select the option as create a virtual disk now. Okay, so disk file, just select the default one VDI. Next. Dynamically allocated, so it will automatically select your storage. Next. And file allocation, okay, I'm selecting this location, C user Shakil. But again, if you want to change the path, we can change the path to like from C to like D or E. Okay, but I'm not changing here. I'll just create a machine here. See, a virtual machine is created now. A virtual machine is created with this configuration, and the virtual machine is powered off. So right click here, and there is console here. Okay, I'll just say start. That's it. Can you see here? This is a console where your Windows Server 2016 will run. So I have not connected my Windows Server 2016, so I need to connect. That's it. So this is the way we use a VMware machine or a Oracle VirtualBox machine. So always remember one thing, guys. If you know how to use one simulation, the other simulations will be more or less same. Like for example, if you know how to use Google Chrome, you can use Mozilla also. Firefox, you can use Internet Explorer also. No issues. If you know how to use Ola, you can use Uber also. If you know how to use Swiggy, you can use Zomato also. So this is not a big deal, right? So I have created here. I'll just say remove. Okay, so this is about Oracle VirtualBox, but I will not use Oracle VirtualBox very often because I have to take some other classes also. That is your VMware classes. So VMware classes are more suitable on this platform. So I always prefer this VMware workstation. But Oracle VirtualBox is also a tool that also you can use. Okay, so anything else, guys? As you know, tomorrow is a holiday. Tomorrow is off. So our next class will be on Monday. And next week will be like very important week for us. Yeah, Ramu, I can see you're raising your hand. So anything else?
Just wanted to get the videos.
You're not received the video still now? Okay. I'll just call them because yesterday also I got the same message from some other class. But the other people are receiving the videos. So I'll just call them and I'll inform them to like send the videos to you. All the videos from starting till now. Okay, I'll inform them. Okay. So if there is no other question, hopefully we can stop the class here. But again, just try to use the day tomorrow and do the practicals. I repeat again, if you know how to do the installation, you can do all the other practicals. Practicals every day will be like two labs, 3 labs, maybe someday like 4 labs. It will look easy, but you know, within 1 week, maybe we will finish like 15 labs. So after one week, when you see the practicals, it will look like, oh, we have finished 15 labs. So it will look huge then. But every day, if you do practicals like 2 labs, 3 labs, and it will be more easier for you. Okay, so just use your day tomorrow, today and tomorrow, and just try to install VMware Workstation or Oracle VirtualBox and create a virtual machine and do the installation. In case if you have any doubt, the video is already available. You can refer to the video. So all the steps are available there and you can do the practice. Okay, guys, so that's it for me for today. So have a nice weekend. Stay safe and hope to see you again on Monday at same time, 7 a.m. Okay, thank you guys. See you on Monday.